So, namaste and welcome to our book launch party for Unbreakable Spirit, this amazing book, 18 stories of feminine resilience, blessings, and renewal that I've had the profound author of supporting the authors and getting their stories out. And we have three beautiful authors today. I'm going to start with Michele. I'm going to highlight you so we can take a photo of you. If you would hold up your book. We're going to get a photo of you with that nice background you've got there too. Yep. Oh, beautiful. All right. Thank you. And then I will bring myself on camera. So Michelle's story is called My Sacred Rebellion, a story of loss, light, and legacy. I'm going to introduce Michele by reading her bio. So Michele is a sacred rebel healer. She's a clinical hypnotherapist, a guided energy medicine practitioner, and an intuitive healer specializing in trauma, addiction, and soul transformation. Her own journey through addiction, a near fatal accident, breast cancer, and the loss of her daughter awakened her purpose as a healer. And can I just say those are a lot? Michele, we have some people in this book who have written about cancer, some people who've written about losing a child or almost losing a child. Any one of those is a lot, and we have or addiction, and we have all of them stacked in this story. Yeah. Michele is trained in clinical hypnotherapy, shamanic healing, and past life regression. She is the founder of Sacred Rebel Healer, where she blends hypnosis, energy medicine, and spiritual activation to guide others into deep healing and personal power. It's so beautiful. I love this. All right. Well, welcome, Michele. Really, really good to have you here today.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm a little nervous and excited at the same time, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. It is, it's a lot to be doing public speaking, right? Especially if it's your first time or the first time you've become an author. This is a really, really big step, and congratulations for your bravery and your commitment to doing that. So let's start there. What inspired you to go on this brave journey to write your
Yeah.
story and have it published in this book and show up here to talk about it? What inspired you to share?
Yeah, well, honestly, this opportunity, it felt like it was definitely divinely guided. I went to school with this dear soul sister at the Sacred Oak Academy, and she reached out at the last minute and she contacted me and connected me with you.
At
And
Liddy?
yeah, Lydia,
Ah,
yeah.
I love Liddy.
And it came at the exact moment when I was really beginning to feel ready to share my story on a larger platform. In my one-on-one work with clients, I've seen how sharing my story inspired them. It gave them hope. So I just knew that when this chance came, that my heart was really aligned with it. Um, yeah, this chapter, it was also a deep healing process for me. It really allowed me to uncover and process parts of my story that I hadn't even touched before. And I know there's still pieces that I wasn't ready to share in this book, but
Right,
it definitely, and there wasn't enough space. I had so much to
right,
share.
right.
But it did open this door for me to write my own book, where I can share even more of my truth. And yeah, in this chapter, it wasn't just about my past. It was actually showing me and showing everyone how really unbreakable our spirits are. And I hope that readers can feel that when they read this chapter.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're right. Your story and so many of these stories, I think pretty much every one can be expanded into a whole book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you call yourself a sacred rebel and your healing path, your journey as sacred rebellion. Why do you use that word and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, well, I think I was born a rebel. I've always had the rebellious spirit, but for so long on my journey, it was really turned inward. against myself,
Oh,
against my pain, um, against anyone who came too close to the wounds that I hadn't yet healed.
yeah.
I was caught in these cycles of anger for so much of my life, victimhood and self-sabotage. Uh, but when I decided to really get the help and go into recovery, I began to realize um, um, that my rebellion, it wasn't the problem. It actually just needed to be redirected in a different way. So that's when I decided to turn it into a sacred rebellion and started using the fire that I had within me to just rise and change my life. I began to rebel against everything that no longer served me, like the old patterns, all the addictions, my limiting beliefs, the toxic relationships. And most importantly, the lie that I had been taught about my worth. I started at that time choosing boundaries, truth, and radical self-love. And that's when I decided to reclaim my power through my authenticity, through my spiritual devotion. And I also came to understand that I'm not just this body having this life experience. I'm actually a spiritual being. And every physical experience that I'm experiencing is really part of a sacred evolution. And that shift really helped me to change a lot of things.
Mm,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. And now what's really cool is I get to help others awaken their sacred rebel within them as well.
Beautiful. Well, let's take a moment and let's talk
Mm.
maybe about one of the really hard parts. One of the things that you write about is your daughter. What happened?
Mm.
And then how did that, let's go through this slowly. What happened that you lost her?
Yeah, her passing was the most devastating moment of my life. It
How old was she?
really,
How old was she when she
she,
died?
she was 16 years old. And, that moment that I got that call, it really shattered me to the core. It was Thanksgiving and she was with some friends and, she was a passenger and the girl driving, she was under the influence and it took her life that night.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, at first, through that experience, it brought me deeper into addiction. It pulled me into this deep spiral of grief and self-destruction. And, I just wanted to die at that moment. But the one thing that happened during that darkness,
Mhm.
I could really feel her presence with me.
Mm,
I really believe she helped me pull myself out of that spiral. You know, at times I did think I was crazy,
mhm,
but I could gently feel her around me. And then it became more powerful.
mhm,
And she began to guide me out of it.
mm.
And she began to show up in ways that I just couldn't ignore, that I knew it was real.
How was she showing up?
Well, I could hear her just
Mhm.
in like a purple flower. Her name was Violet. So a purple
Oh,
flower showing up on my car. Um, and just this inner knowing
uh-huh,
of her presence around me in dreams. And
uh-huh.
it began getting stronger and stronger.
Do you
And
have an example of a dream you could share?
yeah, yeah, so and it was so real. I was spending the night at my mom's house and I had a dream, and at the time she was out of town, so I was sleeping in her bed, and I had a dream that she walked into the
Your
bedroom
mom was
and
out of town?
Yes. So I was in my mom's room in my mom's bed,
Okay.
and I had a dream that my daughter walked into the bedroom, and she
Uh-huh.
said, "Come on, Mom,
Okay.
come downstairs." And we're in the same house, so it was like the same room because sometimes you have dreams and they're not really the same location.
Yeah.
So she says, "Come
Wow.
down the stairs with me,"
Wow.
and I followed her down the stairs, and we went into the kitchen, and we sat. Um, in on the kitchen table with my two sons,
Okay.
and we just held hands, and then my mom came in and sat down, and we just held hands.
Wow.
And I believe that was her recognizing the relationship that had been repaired between our family, and also showing me that it was her that led us all back together.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Her spirit really gave me the strength to begin to rise again and bring me
How long
back
was that
to,
after she had died?
oh, it was after I had done some deep healing and really began to trust the call of spirit, really began to develop that new relationship with her. So I would say like 2 to 3 years after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was showing you how far you had come and her role in that.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And she shows me that every single day. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So addiction, I like to think of addiction as our longing for spirit gone sideways. When we don't know how to channel our true longing to be close to God, Goddess, our higher self, we'll do these odd things, but it's really the life force wanting to make itself known. How were you able to turn the addiction around? I know you saying your daughter was speaking to you, but what has how has that turned into something good?
Um, well, I began to change my perspective on everything. Um, so when I was in recovery, I worked with a spiritual teacher, and she began to teach me that, you know, about soul contracts, and that I chose this experience. I chose my parents. I chose everything I've experienced. And she would ask me, "So, how can you be angry? You did this." So I think by stepping out of the victimhood, the needing to escape and numb, and taking full responsibility for my life and understanding myself as not just this physical being, but a spiritual being and in full control. I'm the
Mm.
creator. So why am I creating that experience? So I no longer could, I
It's a
behave in
hard
that
question, but it's so
way. Yeah.
important, right? It's a pain.
Right.
It's like such a core question.
Yeah.
I love that. Is there another transformational moment you want to tell us about? I mean, I know losing your daughter was huge and took several years to evolve. Is there another transformational moment on your journey that you want to share?
I think, well, I mean, that when started working with that spiritual teacher at the recovery center, she was a practicing Buddhist. She wrote this book called The Gift of Addiction,
Okay.
and she helped me to understand soul contracts. That was like the opening of the door. And that's when I did decide to stop blaming others. And I started asking, what is this here to teach me? And everything that I experienced. Um, but after I left the recovery center, um, I went and became a clinical hypnotherapist, and I began to, reprogram the old patterns and beliefs that I had carried or inherited throughout my life. But really, another big transformation was when I enrolled at the Shamanic Academy, which is now the Sacred Oak Academy, and I
Uh-huh.
began working with Rose Cole. She became a life-changing mentor.
Okay.
She helped me reclaim my authenticity, my sovereignty, and she helped me to truly begin to embody the healer that I came here to be.
That's so
And-
beautiful.
yeah, and it wasn't just a turning point in my life. It was really the beginning of me remembering who I really am at a soul level.
Mm, I love that. Ooh, so wonderful that there are teachers on the way, you
Yeah,
know, people who've written books, right? You said it was her book and the knowledge that she gained probably solidified in her through writing that book. Um,
yeah.
you, if everybody would put some love for Michelle in the chat, that would be amazing. And just as we wrap up here, Michelle, is there one message or truth that you hope readers will take from your chapter?
Um, yeah, let's see. Yeah, well, the one message I hope readers take away is that you are not broken. You are
Mm,
becoming. And no matter how dark it feels, there's always a way back to yourself. And
mm,
your pain is not here to punish you. It's really here to awaken you back to who you truly are. You
mm,
carry so much strength, so much wisdom, and so much light within you.
mm.
And I hope my story reminds people that their spirit is truly unbreakable and resilient, and that their healing is sacred. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And all the details are in this book. I know we just scratched the surface, Michelle, right? There's
Yeah.
so much more in here, in your story. Beautiful. So I want everybody to know that after we hear from our three authors, we're going to go into breakout rooms and you can share what has touched you from any or all of the authors. So just a little heads up for those who are joining us for the first time today. We have Kathy, Lisa's sending you hearts and a hug emoji. Kathy says, so inspiring. We are not broken. Debbie, thank you, Michelle, for sharing your beautiful story with us this morning. It's morning in Pacific time zone, probably afternoon in the East Coast. Kendra, love you, Michelle. Neelam, thank you for sharing. And what a heart-wrenching story. My eyes were full of tears and the impact of dreams, soul contract, and resilience. Stay. Yes, we are whole. Amy. Michelle, thank you for the depth of heart, your powerful story of loss and love, such important teachings. Shantae, there's always a way back to yourself, and your healing is sacred. Thank you, Michelle. You are sacred. Kay Austin, I love you, Michelle. I'm so proud of what you've become. This is beautiful. Was that your teacher? Am I recognizing a name? No.
That's my aunt, my
Your
beautiful
aunt.
aunt,
Okay, somehow
KK.
I felt
Yes.
an energy connection. Okay,
She's
beautiful.
my teacher too.
Okay, I love it. All right, well, let's give a bow of appreciation for Michelle. Thank you.